whenever you guys are doing something that's soccer related. Okay? What that shows me is a lack of commitment from you guys in terms of what you want to accomplish, where you want to go, where you want to be, and all those things. Okay? And so, for me, you know, it doesn't make sense for your coach to have to threaten you, to have to take your scholarship away in order for you guys to attend a football-related function. Okay? That's, once again, that shows me a lack of commitment, a lack of accountability on your part. And so this was some of the stuff that actually happened at another college that I was working with. At the start of the season, I actually started working with this team. And at the start of the season, I actually predicted that they would be lucky to win one game because there was no commitment, there was no accountability, nobody took responsibility for their actions, people not showing up to practice, people not showing up to any football-related functions. And so I said, you guys will be lucky to win one game this year because you guys are committed to what has been put in place for you by your coaches. They only won one game, okay? Your coach shouldn't have to threaten you guys to participate in anything that's put together by the this is a university, by the college, and by the soccer team, okay? You guys should be committed enough to do anything. One of the questions that I asked last week, how do you feel about soccer? How do you feel about it? Describe how you feel about soccer. 1 or 2 words. It's not a word. You love soccer? Okay? So if you love soccer, you will do everything necessary to perform at a high level for soccer, right? Okay? You get a lot of people that say that they really enjoy something or they're really committed to doing something, but that's not what you see in their actions. Their actions don't show that. And so because their actions don't show that, they're actually, what you get and what you see is actually a true indication of what's really going on with them. One of the things that we talked about last week was what's going on the inside of you will manifest itself on the outside of you, right? We talked about that a little bit last week. And so what people see from you guys is really what's really going on with you guys. And there are some, you know, there's no, nothing is exact, okay? So there are some exceptions to the rule. You got people that, you know, may be dealing with some things, and so, you know, they might not be able to attend. You got people who, you know, players and things like that, who may have family that they need to take care of, jobs that they need to work, and different things like that. So there's always exceptions to the rule. And as long as you guys communicate those things, and we're going to get into communication next week, as long as you guys are able to communicate what's going on with you guys, people are flexible. My responsibility in terms of starting this program and working with athletes is to help you guys get ready for everything that you guys are going to have to deal with as men, okay? So for me, it's helping you guys to transition and prepare yourselves for what you guys are going to have to deal with when you get into the real world, okay? That's why I started doing this stuff. This is to help you guys get ready for the real world, and this is also to help you guys understand how you can take your soccer experience, you can take everything that you guys are going through in soccer, and you can apply it to what you guys are going to go through when you guys step into the real world, okay? As I have technical difficulties. So, as a result of that, one of the things that, like I said, that's for you guys that haven't been here, the approach is going to be different. The freedom that you guys were given is going to be different. You know, the approach that I took with you guys are going to be different. I'm going to be a little more stern with you guys. My expectations have increased for you guys because you guys can't seem to manage your own behaviors, and since you guys can't manage your own behaviors, then I have to help you guys manage those behaviors. Does that make sense? Okay? And so I'm going to do everything that I can to help you guys, but I'm going to be a little more hands-on with you guys. Okay? So the approach is going to change a little bit. So that's that. Expectations are going to be a little different also. I'm not going to give you guys the freedom to conduct yourselves like adults until you guys show me that you guys can handle some of the freedom that goes along with being an adult. Okay? So some of the horseplay and different things like that, I'm going to be a lot less tolerant when it comes to playing around and stuff. You know, all the laughing and goofing off and stuff like that. You guys can't handle it, so I'm going to have to manage it a little better. Okay? So those are the expectations. Anybody have any problems with the expectations?
No, sir.
Okay. I know he can't speak for the whole group, so once again, I'm going to ask, you guys, again, if you guys have any problems with the expectations, let me know now so that we can address that.
Oh.
No? Okay. Okay. So last week, I introduced you guys to this pyramid that I did, which I actually thought was a really cool concept from the standpoint of how they ended up developing their pyramid. So, when I was going to school in Missouri, I was introduced to the actual gold pyramid. We actually won a national championship. The school that I went to in Missouri, they played in about 7 or 8 national championships since 1998. They won 3 of them. They lost 4, and so they've had a lot of success over since about 1997, actually 96. Starting in 96, they've only lost 2 games a year. I think I talked to the head coach last week. They've won 48 straight conference games in the conference. Okay, they haven't lost a conference game in about 4 years. And in fact, he said the seniors on the team, they've gone undefeated in the conference. None of the seniors have lost. Okay, so they've had a lot of success in terms of establishing their goals, accomplishing their goals. I think goal setting is really important. We'll get into the importance of goal setting after I show you guys this. One of the things that would be good for you guys as a team is for you guys to do something like that before you actually start your season. Because if the team is not on the same page in terms of goal setting, if everybody doesn't agree with what you guys are going to accomplish as a team, if everybody doesn't agree with how you guys need to go about accomplishing it, then it's all for naught. Nobody's on the same page, nobody's committed to each other, everybody's playing for themselves, and this is the type of stuff that happened whenever I was going to junior college at Phoenix College. We did nothing as a team, okay? But when I got to school in Missouri, we did everything as a team. okay? None of the players, you never saw any other players by themselves. Not only did you not see any other players by themselves, but we made a pact with each other that we would always be in groups of 3 or 4 at the same time. So, it brings me to some of the things that I started doing with the program that I teach, which is every time that you guys are together, you guys should be in groups of 3 and preferably groups of 4. The reason why is because each of you can look out for each other and take care of each other. Well, now what does that look like? Well, why would we want to look out for each other? Why would we want to take care of each other? Because each of you, whenever you guys are all together, should all take on one of 4 words, okay? These 4 words are accountable, responsible, committed, and dependable, okay? All of you guys should be able to depend on each other. All of you guys should be committed to each other. All of you guys should be responsible for each other and take responsibility for yourselves. And all of you guys should not have a problem holding each other accountable, okay? Because if all of you guys want to accomplish that thing at the top, that's the top is the pinnacle. It's the peak. It's the apex. It's the creme de creme, okay? Nothing gets better than winning a national championship and being able to walk around being known as a national champion. There's nothing better than that. You go down in history. We were the first team in Division II football to go 15-0. There were other teams that went undefeated, but nobody ever won 15 games. What's that mean? We didn't have a bye week, fellas. We played 15 straight weeks and we never lost. Okay? So we were the first team to accomplish that. Okay? When everybody is on the same page, when everybody is committed to each other, when everybody sees themselves as being dependable, can I count on you? Can you count on each other? Are you dependable? Are you committed to each other? What's your level of commitment? Will you take responsibility for your actions? And can you hold each other accountable? Will you allow your teammates to hold you accountable? Some of the stuff that we talked about last week, where's that list that you guys wrote out last week for the things that you guys have to do so that you guys can earn the right to be able to hold each other accountable? Where's that list? Somebody should have that list in here.
Sebastian here. Yeah, list.
Somebody should have that list. All the things that you guys had to do in order to hold each other accountable. Everybody was supposed to write it down. Everybody that was here, at least. And so once again, that goes back to you guys not being committed, okay? Because that list that you guys wrote down last week, that was supposed to help you guys get ready for next year. And once again, going back to being able to earn the right to hold each other accountable. Earn the right to be able to say, you're not working hard enough, you're not playing hard enough, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Okay? All of you guys should have had that. Make sure that you email it to each other, or write it down, or do something. Because one of the things that you guys talked about, that was spoken about last week, was you guys having a problem with how certain things were handled as a team. One of the things that we talked about a couple of weeks ago is hearing people say, I don't have to explain myself to you. Well, each of you, if you're really committed to the task at hand, each of you owes everybody in here an explanation if they ask you something, because of your level of commitment to each other. If you guys have a sincere level of commitment to each other, when they ask you, where were you, you shouldn't have a problem answering. The reason why you shouldn't have a problem answering is because of your level of commitment for what you want to accomplish. Because if you're truly committed, you won't make excuses as to why you didn't attend something or why you weren't a part of something. There's nothing to hide. And you won't do anything to compromise that. But there's lots of compromising that goes on right now because none of you understand what it means to sacrifice. And none of you understand, I won't say none of you, you guys have a hard time really understanding what it means to be committed to each other. And in most cases, as we grow up, all we care about is ourselves. In most cases, not all, because as kids, Okay, and we were all kids. As kids, do we really have a whole lot of responsibility? Do we? Is there a whole lot of sacrifice that we have to display whenever we're a child? Is there much sacrifice that goes on at all?
No.
No. And so we don't really understand really what it means to have to sacrifice, and we go through life selfishly. But there comes a time, and this is the beauty of team sports. And this is why you get so much out of playing a team sport. You begin to understand what it means to sacrifice. You begin to understand what it means to work as a team. You begin to understand those things because those are the things that go on whenever you're in a team environment and when you're committed to something. And when you're committed to something that's a team function, it's about more than just you. And when you want to accomplish something as a unit, at the school that I was working with where we did this, their motto was one unit and one mission. Because if you have one unit and one mission, you understand what it means to sacrifice yourself for the sole purpose of what's at hand. You guys, does that make sense? Okay? And so, you know, some of the things that like I said last week, what they did was they chose these words. And I'll go ahead and highlight what I mean when I say they chose these words. Okay? At the base of the pyramid, okay, so the pyramid is a triangle, okay? At the base, at the very bottom of it, they chose the words loyalty, integrity, heart, and sacrifice, okay? So it wasn't, how you guys saw the pyramid before, it's not that outline that you guys see in color that made up the structure, if you will, of the pyramid. What they used to make up the structure of the pyramid were these words, okay? And so they specifically chose loyalty, integrity, heart, and sacrifice because they believed that those words were the foundation of the pyramid, okay? In order for them to accomplish all this, in order for them to be one unit, one mission, never miss a football associated function, for them to take one game at a time, for them to win all the games in the Valley, for them to win all the games in Arizona, to win the conference, to go undefeated, to go to a bowl game, to win a national championship, they felt as if they had to be loyal. They felt as if they had to have integrity. They felt as if they had to show heart and display heart. They felt as if they had to sacrifice. That was the foundation of what they needed to accomplish what was on that pyramid. And then on the right side and on the left side, in addition, they felt as if they needed to be dedicated. They felt as if they needed to be disciplined. They felt as if there was some accountability that was going to be necessary, and that they needed to develop a brotherhood. And then on the other side, the words dependability, determination, responsibility, and family. Do you guys, just your opinion, do you guys think that those things are necessary for you guys to accomplish what you want to accomplish as a team?
Yes.
Okay? And so, my question to you guys, if you guys believe that those things are going to be necessary for you guys to accomplish what you desire to accomplish as a team, how far away do you feel as if you guys are? So that's the first question that I want you guys to address for today, and I want you guys to break up into groups and talk about today. Okay? How far away are you guys from accomplishing something great as a team, and how much of this is missing? How much are you guys missing? Loyalty, integrity, heart, sacrifice, dedication, discipline, accountability, brotherhood, dependability, determination, responsibility, and family. And let me tell you something. Where I went to school in Missouri, there were little cliques, but we had a real talk. You know, one of those come to Jesus moment talks, where it was real, where we were in each other's face. Did you guys see the movie Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
You guys saw that movie? Okay, we had one of those talks where you had guys who had never interacted with a black person before. You had guys who never interacted with white people before. Okay, and so because of that, there was some separation. Okay, And so they didn't really understand how to really come together. And so, they felt as if there was some racism, some segregation, and different things like that going on within the team. Okay? We had to have that talk. That talk was had. Wasn't fun. Wasn't pretty. Had to have the talk. So we could get the cliques broken up. So that we could come together. Okay? And once we did that, that's exactly what happened. Okay? There was some serious family and there was some serious brotherhood. Okay? And that's how we became a family. That's how we got to the point where we were one. There was one mission, and we were only one unit. Okay, and so there was no cliques, little 3, 4 couple of guys hanging out together all the time. Everybody spent time together. Okay, and so the cliques that's going on in this group, the cliques have to stop. You guys got to come together as a family, and until you do that, you'll continue to have the issues and the challenges that you guys have. You guys understand? Okay? So I want you to break up into groups and I want you to talk about how far away are you from this? And what do you need to do to get there? Do you need to have a talk like that? You might not. You may not. But if that talk needs to be had, you need to have that talk so that you guys can come together. Okay? So we're going to go 5 minutes. 5 minutes to talk about that. And I know that there's probably a lot more that's going to need to be solved in more than 5 minutes. But let's at least get it started and get the ball rolling, okay? So go ahead, 5 minutes.
Like this. What? I think we need to talk.
I had a treat. You brother already shut up.
That's 6.
Look again.
For the sake of the class, there's 6.
You'll be segregated, and then once you're done segregated,
You'll rejoin the rest of the family. Opie and Joe. Are you guys on a group? That's what
hey, group reading. Quit picking your nose.
Alright, then you two.
Chris Camper
Five Guys Restaurant? Be honest, I don't really give a fuck. You guys keep 5 guys one restaurant.
So
Talk it up, boys. Talk it up.
How far are we?
Really bad.
Alright, let's see here. This is Stray Dog. Your name is A. A. Cruz.
Oh,
Why did you say that?
Robbie.
Watch, he's gonna come in and he's gonna be purple.
Robbie Purr.
Robbie
Real talk.
Really far.
I don't think we're ever going to bring up.
I don't think all of you fucking lacking. This isn't my team anymore. Lacking. That's your team. Your team. Lacking in all areas. But teammates. Alright, we need a bench perspective, Alan.
What I gotta say is, Josh, help me out here.
Okay, really far. How far is really far? We need a quantitative.
We're about like
number.
95%.
If 100 was as far
So if 100 is obviously perfect, we're like
If 100 is 100%,
we're like a 95.
and there's 0, we're like a 1.
Dude, we're not even in double digits. We're like 9.5.
9,
Put us on there like that.
9.7, because 7 is.
Huh? 9.7 on the scale of 100.
That's very lacking. That's like Okay.
Wait.
I agree. That's right.
We're not part of this.
Well,
Next year.
no, we are. We have it.
We're talking about where we are now.
You can make a decision based on what you hear from why do we have this division? Can't we just, would you shake each other's hand?
Take my fucking
All I know is,
No, wait.
He's talking about the team.
see, this is what we're doing.
As you text on your phone.
As you text on your phone.
It's not texting, I'm checking the score. I'm sure 140.
Yeah, because that's. The 140?
Yeah. Referral scored a
Am I doing Zoom again?
IX.
Okay, if
What was the
looking at
score?
areas, what would be our strongest
Twice.
areas?
Last year.
We look at the, it's like something.
I think this needs to be like a whole group, not just separate.
Well, what do you mean by family?
Like all the time, hey, like all the time you go to Kurt's house and eat food together.
Like that, like,
Really that, like 4
That's
years?
what I think.
It's 4
probably
years.
just.
There's actually quite a bit.
Like, all those words are similar.
How would you define family? Because not everybody defines family the same. 1, 2, not everybody places value on family.
Like an orphan.
And 3,
How about
the way that one person sees family can be completely different than the way another person does. So really, it's really based on the individual's own perception. However, it has to be something that everybody agrees upon. You see what I'm saying? So you got to come to some sort of
General census.
not only general, but some sort of agreement as to how you guys will view family as a team. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Does anyone have any? No, that's for our group exclusively.
Yeah, that's why I'd say you guys won't get a whole lot, and there'll be a whole lot more to talk about. But let's at least get the ball rolling. You guys are gonna have to take time amongst yourselves. Somebody's gonna, you guys may have to call your own team meeting and figure this thing out for yourself.
Right now.
Yeah, we need some maybe right now.
So.
What is your best bet?
Do you might go to that?
Half of us actually the best team. As a campus, that's care.
Oh, what'd you say? Half of us are going to be here next year. That's right. I'm going to see it a little different than someone who's going to be here next year, you know?
I agree.
But now here's the thing though, just because half of you guys, or more than half of you guys, aren't gonna be here next year, the reason why I'm still doing this is because you'll have something to take with you wherever you end up going to school, so that you guys can see what it's gonna take to have success no matter where you go, whether you stay here or not. The stuff that we talk about in here, man, not only is it for here, not only is it for wherever you end up going, but the approach that you take with soccer, if you will, is the same approach that you're going to want to take when you become a professional. When you start, whatever you guys decide to end up doing, you guys are going to talk about goal setting in the workplace. A lot of families don't, but one of the things that I learned and from doing goal setting, and that I now will apply to my own family, is goal setting within your family. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, because I have it up there. Goal setting within your family. Mission statements for your family. A team mission. Okay? That's the kind of type of stuff that still goes on in the workplace. Companies have, when you walk into a company, you see their mission and you see their vision, right?
Yes.
Okay? And for some companies, there's a company model that they even have. This is no different. That's why I said, everything that I'm doing with you guys, this is preparing you guys for what you're gonna have to deal with. I wanna do everything that I can to help you guys get ready to step into the real world. Everything that we talk about is to prepare you guys for what you guys are gonna have to deal with, not only playing soccer, but also in life. That's why a lot of people refer to it as life skills. Because no matter where you are, no matter where you go, whether you're in the workplace, walking down the street with your family, playing ball, whatever, this is stuff that applies no matter where you are and what you're doing. That's why it's called life skills. That's why a lot of people call it that. Okay? So, yeah, you guys are going to be leaving. But you guys still need this stuff for when you leave Gateway. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
Right
Okay, so
That's half.
it's been longer than 5 minutes. It's actually, we started at, it's been 10 minutes now. Okay? So let's talk about this. How far away do you guys feel as if you are from these words? How far away are you guys?
Well,
Somewhere.
From 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, yes.
Half.
Half,
all right,
five.
we did a scale at 100%.
No, I mean like 1.
Okay, we're at 1.
Okay.
We did.
Less than 1.
Our 100% scale.
Oh, are you combining
We got
all that?
9.7. We got a 9.7.
Yeah, we can
Same
combine all
thing.
the words together.
At 100%? That's a lot.
I think we're at 1.
That's a lot of
That's
areas.
like almost 1
Maybe Carl's at 10.
Alright, pretty much out of 1 out of 10, it's a 1.
It's a 1?
Yep.
Okay.
We're lucky to even say 1.
Okay. So I've heard everything from we're far away, we're halfway there, we got a 5, we got a 1, we got a 1% even out of 100%.
Yeah, that's terrible, you guys. Usually do that.
No, 9.7, that'd be 10.
That's point.
If, you know, and this is the thing for me, fellas, I like to do stuff like this before the season starts. Because for you guys to have this conversation in December, or it's not December yet, but for you guys to have this conversation at the end of November, when you guys should have been talking about this stuff before the season even started, you see what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that needs to be talked about. This is the type of stuff that needs to be identified before the season even takes place. Because if you guys are that far away on a scale of 1 to 10, if you guys are only a 1, how can you guys have success as a team if you're only a 1?
Nobody expected that.
And so this is the coming together that needs to happen. Okay? And so the first thing is good job for seeing it for yourself. Okay? Now so we recognize it, we've identified it. How long have you guys seen this problem?
The whole season.
The whole season?
No.
Like halfway through.
Halfway.
Like halfway through?
I think like
Like 4 or 5 games, never scored
4 or 5 games in?
Like,
Because 4 or 5 games in, how many games did you guys play?
20, that's a quarter.
That's not halfway through the
How
season.
many quarter?
That's just getting started.
20.
no, that's game.
20 or 21. 20.
No, like,
So that's a quarter of a way into the season.
I want to say 8 to 10 games.
Yeah,
and that's when it was like,
it was like halfway.
That was when it was full blown, it's out of control, and we don't know what to do.
exactly.
You probably recognize it 4 or 5 games into the season.
This is what's gonna happen. I realized this.
Okay.
You better do something.
Wow.
It's gonna keep happening.
Maybe even a little denial at 4 or 5 games into the season. And then at one point you said, by the 8th game, you guys are like, oh shit, we got problems, right? Was that probably how it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Call Houston, you got problems? Okay. Or Jesus. Yeah. Okay. So let's real quickly just speak about what it means to be in a position of leadership and what it means to really embrace that and get the ball when it's going in a wrong direction. Really have to shift the momentum. Okay. Who recognized it at about the 4th game? Okay?
I'm sorry, Dean. Wait. I didn't hear.
Who recognized it at the fourth game? Who recognized that you guys had issues at the fourth game? At about the fourth or fifth game?
I recognized there was gonna be, like, it was gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Okay?
This is not looking too good.
Okay? Not everybody.
I thought it was gonna
That's
be
what
better,
was the South,
like,
that's
after the
the
first
fourth
game or 2 games.
That was the fourth game.
So let me give you guys a little something. If you guys have the ability to identify and recognize situations like that, I was just having a conversation with somebody yesterday. I took a kid down to Tucson yesterday to go visit U of A. He plays football. Okay, took him down there to visit U of A. Great time. Took film down there. They had us on the field. They actually invited us back next week to come to the ASU game and be on the sideline. Whole 9 yards. They love the kid. Okay. So I was talking to him yesterday after I dropped him off. He's walking into his house, his apartment, and as he's sitting in the car, and we're talking about, you know, what he's gonna do and all kind of stuff like that, he sees somebody walking to his door. And when he sees him walking to his door, he wasn't sure who it was. Long story short, point to the story is, because he identified a problem, never addressed the problem, now it's out of control, he doesn't know how to handle it. And I told him actually before the season even started, I said, because I started, you know, talking to this kid and working with this kid a little bit before the season actually started. One day I happened to be out at the practice, the receivers and the quarterbacks were throwing the ball around. He was the only defensive back out there. And I asked him a couple questions, gave him a little bit of advice. And I recognized that he was going to be a really, really good ball player. And he's just a really good kid. Just a good, genuine kid. Humble, quiet, all that. And so anybody that's like that for me, that works hard and that's a good person, I'm going to do everything that I can to help. I don't care who it is. Okay? I just met the kid. I didn't know this kid before. He's from South Carolina. I never met this kid before in my life. But because he's a good kid and because he works his ass off, I wanted to make sure that the kid was going to be taken care of. Okay? And so, in recognizing that and in seeing that, there are some things that I started talking to him about. I said, listen, you're going to be a great ball player. I'm not going to celebrate your success because you're going to be so good that the expectation is for you to perform this way all the time. So when everybody else is coming and praising you and worshiping you and saying how great you are, I'm not going to do that. Don't think that I don't like you or don't think that I don't appreciate the way that you play, but everybody's going to do that. What's going to separate you from everybody else is your consistency and how hard you work to separate yourself from the rest of the bunch. He understood where I was coming from. And that's exactly what happened during the year. The kid is so good, he's so talented, that everybody was always like, oh, Terrell, oh, this and all that. You know, you're great, and yada, yada, yada. And I wanted to see him accomplish more. Because the harder that you work, let me tell you something. When we were up at U of A yesterday, you talk about some ball players, they got some ballers on their team. They got kids, they got receivers that are 6'4", 220 pounds. They got a freshman that plays safety. He's 6'4", 220, true freshman that's playing. And I'm just standing on the field at practice. I'm just blown away by these guys. And I'm telling them, every day I tell them the same thing. Work hard. Outwork the person that you're competing against. There's competition everywhere. Everybody's good. You just got to outwork these people. Fellas, the point is, I started telling him stuff to help him understand what he was going to have to deal with. He recognized it, but he let the thing get out of control. Not everybody has the ability to recognize things before it gets out of control because they're too consumed and they can't see what's going on around them. For you guys that are able to recognize and identify something before it gets out of control, it's a skill set that you have. I can't remember what I referred to it in here, but we talk about being able to, having a sense of awareness. That's what it's called. Don't ignore that sense of awareness. When you recognize something or when you feel something, you know how people say, I just felt it in my gut? I just had that gut feeling? You can't ignore that gut feeling that you guys get. You have to address it. Even if you don't just ignore it. You may not talk about it right away, but at least be mindful of it. And the thing that I say is even write it down. Even if you just write it down, you may be able to go back to it and address it later. But don't just ignore it. Because when you ignore it, it turns into a real issue. And that's what you guys have on your hands now, is you guys have some real issues on your hands, because how many of you guys ended up recognizing it and just ignored it? Almost everybody. Okay? And so now you got this real big issue on your hand, and it's so far out of hand that you don't know how to handle it now. What happens when you don't know how to handle something that becomes and it gets overwhelming for you? What happens?
Panic?
Huh?
Panic?
Panic. What else?
Shut down.
That's what I'm looking for. Completely shut down, throw in the towel, chalk it up as a loss. What good does that do?
No good at all.
It sounds like second half.
Okay? When you shut it down, and when you take that approach, what was that quote? I think we even did the quote in here. It was a Vince Lombardi quote. And it was, when losing or when giving up is learned, or when you learn to lose or when you learn to give up, it becomes a part of who you are. It becomes automatic. You guys remember us talking about that?
Yeah.
And so when you just shut it down and you give up like that, that just becomes, when you learn, when that becomes a learned behavior, you do it and you don't even recognize that you do it. So not only is that what happens in soccer, that becomes a part of who you are. Does that make sense?
Yes,
And so you guys need to recognize, you guys need to understand how just ignoring something, not identifying something, not addressing an issue ends up putting you guys in a situation where you just shut it down. Not just in soccer, but in everything. Everything that you guys do. It just becomes a part of who you are. So nobody wants to be identified as a quitter, no. But once again, the things that manifest itself, the things that people see from you, is what's going on the inside of you. So it becomes a part of who you are. Does that make sense? So you guys, the suggestion and the solution, fellas, is don't ignore the stuff that's going on. Sense of awareness, feeling it in your gut, you better take care of it. Because if you don't take care of it, it's going to take care of you. Yeah? So your season was determined by the fourth game already?
pretty much.
Pretty much. You can say that your season was determined by the fourth game of the year. And you still had 16 left to go. Okay? So that's that. The other thing that I want you guys, that I want us to recognize and discuss, not only a sense of awareness and your ability to identify something, but to try to change the momentum and get the ball. Okay, so let me give you this. There's a I can't remember what the theory is, but when the pendulum swings, okay, it's hard to get a pendulum to start swinging in the opposite direction and to keep it there. But if you guys for you to have the ability to do something like that, even if you guys are swinging and you're going in the wrong direction, you can take that momentum of going in the wrong direction and you can swing it to the point that it's going in the direction that you want it to go. Develop the ability to change for the better and lead other people whenever you recognize there's a change that needs to take place. Like I told you guys before, There's so many things, so many life lessons to be learned in playing team sports. However, although there are lessons to be learned, not everybody learns them. Everybody talks about this lesson can be learned, this lesson can be learned, or that lesson can be learned. But not everybody actually learns the lesson. If you guys start practicing and developing the ability to learn those lessons, identify and recognize those lessons, then you guys are going to be great people when it comes time for you guys to get in positions of leadership in the workplace. Because that change that you guys that you guys recognized, but nobody ever said anything or did anything or any of those things to get the ball going in the opposite direction, to change the momentum, to shift the momentum. If somebody would have just stood up, said something, did something, called a team meeting, called a players only meeting, maybe said something to the coach, not as a tattletale or a rat or a snitch or anything like that, but just went to the coach and said, Coach, what is it that you see? Here's what I see. Here's what I recognize. And then to get to shift that momentum and getting it going in another direction, that's called leadership, fellas. That's called a person of change. And you guys have to be willing and have a willingness to step into that position and embrace that position and be the leaders that you guys are called to be. You guys are going to be faced with stuff like this for the rest of your life. And if you don't start practicing it now, when will you start? When will you start? This is the easy part of life. You guys are still in the easy stage. But it's not going to be much longer before you guys, I've said it before it really hits the fan. And once it hits the fan, boys, it's more than just saying, oh, we got next year, or the season will be over soon. Because life goes on. Soccer only lasts probably, when you put things into perspective, and you start looking at life, and let's say life is about that big, soccer is about that much of life. That much, right?
Yes.
Because you still have all the rest of your life to do what you need to do. Soccer only lasts that long. So you better start doing things to put yourself in a position to get this stuff figured out. Figure it out. Figure it out real fast. Okay? So now we're going to talk about goal setting. Okay? So I'll give you guys a break. Because some people have to leave at 3 o'clock anyway, so it's 3 o'clock. So you guys that have to leave, go ahead and, so we'll come back at about, I'll give you guys 3 minutes because we got a lot to cover. Okay?
You guys already did the sign-in sheet?
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
There's sign-in sheet.
Was anybody? No. Was anybody? Well, not anybody. I'm glad you're that. Because I got invited to the game next Thursday. When ASU plays U of A, that game is at 6 o'clock. You think I want to see you guys' ugly face?
Yeah.
Next Thursday, as opposed to going to the U of A ASU game?
We don't have
So,
we got no class on Thursday.
next Thursday, next Thursday, we do. There is a class next Thursday. It's at U of A. Now,
So we're going to U of A?
no. Now, Friday, what time you guys got class? Next Friday.
A lot of us don't have.
No class?
I'm not.
How many of you guys will have a way to get here even though you don't have class? Or actually, better question. How many of you guys won't be able to get here since you don't have class on Friday?
Wait.
Next Friday.
Okay.
You guys have to work? Okay.
Probably gonna be jumping in and out.
No, if you need to do that, you can talk to Greg to maybe like writing or something.
Yeah, most
But
of
just
us
like
are
right now.
because of that.
Because of.
Okay, now here's the other option.
Because of OB encouraged.
The other option is this. We can have class on next Monday and Tuesday, or next Tuesday and Wednesday.
I don't know.
So I want you guys.
I like Friday if we're gonna be here.
So Friday, okay. So now the next question is, what time on Friday?
Like 10?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
What time will we be done?
You probably want to speak to Greg about that.
Okay.
Because he would know he may have something that he wants us to do, so.
Okay, since it's gonna be Friday, since the majority has agreed that Friday's gonna be the best day, I'll let you guys know for sure a time on Tuesday, next Tuesday. Okay? For you guys that have to go. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
You too.
And 3 minutes, 3-minute break.
Johnny, run.
Is the classroom sign-in sheet?
I know all of you don't have to leave. Just a couple of people told me that they have to leave. So I expect all you guys to come back.
The sign-in sheet, I think it's signed.
Back in the day.
Is that the calling too? Over there in Ireland? Opie? Oh, how would you say that with the accent? You know how to say it with the accent? Alright, then I'm not. Alright, then.
Alright, man. See you.
Alright, then you got it.
I'll text you later.
Alright, then you know.
Hey, I say we go to Kurt's house and play. I like that setup. I love that setup.
We could do that at Paula's.
You can't move the couch right in front of your.
I'll do it.
Alright. If you guys want to take it,
That's the problem.
Thanks,
Mom,
me
we're
too.
sometimes-
you want to go to Paul's house?
I heard you went to go see
That's
my
what we're
wife.
gonna do. We're just gonna fall asleep,
Yeah.
eat food at Paul's.
Right,
play
are you
the
gonna
game.
work out later?
Whoever wakes up, it's like, alright, throw me into the rotation.
You told me that you
Fall
went to go
asleep,
see him.
we're out.
Yeah,
That's how it goes. You guys have it easy.
But,
I'll probably fall asleep too.
He hasn't come back. I'll talk to him when I see him.
You want to? I'm fine.
I need to call him.
You want me to go to Paul's?
I'm here because I went to go see, what's your last
Let's
name?
do that.
I'll stop by your house, get the stuff, you guys.
We'll just we'll cut down price, but then we'll cut up earlier.
Oh, no, you're not my brother.
Yeah, I'll make sure that I talk to him. I need to talk to him.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Paul lives there.
I'm sure with the board.
Let's hop that fence again.
No, that's Longboard, not doing that.
This is hot, bro.
I just saw it from the first time.
Hey.
It's very
His
nice.
stepsister?
And his other
Is
location
cute?
will be even worse.
What?
In Chandler? Yeah.
Skylar.
She's a boyfriend though. He's
So?
goofy, he's goofy.
Hey, who am I? I'm Mr. Steal Your Girl. I just hit my head.
This weekend. Huh? Weekend this weekend. Celebrating my birthday, dog. Team
Your
bonding.
birthday?
Kid, I don't like you guys, to be honest.
Oh, alright.
I don't like the gateway playing soccer.
Mexicans. Well, that's
I don't care, I don't like him either.
What about, you were my first
Chicken
goalie
legs.
ever.
I don't care. I'm not happy with you guys. You guys make me sad.
Why?
Why? Because I'm with your sister.
You wish.
Do I have a perfect attendance record?
Have you been here every time?
Yeah.
I should, because I'm here every day of the week that we have class. What'd you say?
I missed a couple.
You think that's Phillies.
Obies.
Reno 911.
I have like 12 probably of those. Black, gold, silver, all sorts of ones. I had these really cool black, they're white and
Can I ask you something?
black.
Can I ask you a question?
What? No.
Do I care what color you have? I'm calling Cheryl.
What?
No, don't call
No.
There wouldn't be a game.
There would be good what?
We ruined that stuff like on
Saves
Facebook.
cost share, bro.
So I get in for it? No, just
Yo,
go.
we got one.
Johnny?
Get out of here.
Referral? Go.
You know people.
Alright,
I'll be going back to Ireland.
I go back to Mexico.
You've never been there. Heard of it, but
okay, so last week we talked a little bit about, goal setting. We even gave a little bit of a parallel or a comparison, if you will, in terms of goal setting. Does anybody remember what we compared it to? What we compared goal setting to? We said it was like what? It's easy to remember.
Goals comparing was what?
It's similar to what? What is goal setting similar to?
Oh, comp.
Huh? I'm sorry?
I don't know, I was gonna say something, but I didn't.
Life?
Somewhat.
Oh, what are decision making or?
No, it's not.
No. If you have to drive somewhere?
Oh, map, like, map, or,
Navigation.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
GPS.
Yes. Similar to that, okay? So that's the purpose of goal setting. Everybody, what I said last week was, we all know we want to go somewhere, right? And since we all want to go somewhere, we all have a destination in life. We need a little direction, okay? So we're getting ready to embark. We're getting ready to travel. We're getting ready to go to a place that nobody's ever been, okay? Nobody has lived your life. So there's really nobody that you're going to be able to ask how to get to where each of you need to go individually, right? Because you guys have to live your own life, right? And so that said, whatever it is that you guys want to accomplish, you can't ask anybody. Okay? How do I get to where I'm supposed to get to? Well, nobody knows. Nobody's done what you're going to do. Nobody's going to accomplish what you're going to accomplish. And everybody's life is unique because nobody's life is exactly alike. Okay? So with that said, goal setting is necessary. Mapping out how you're going to get to where you want to get to is necessary. Okay? So that's the purpose of goal setting. Okay? So when we talk about goal setting, okay, we all need a little bit of direction in terms of what we want to accomplish in life. You guys, how many of you always know where you're going and how you're going to get there every single time if you're in a car or if you're driving? If it's a place that you've never been to before, how many of you know exactly how to get there? Okay? So if it's something that if it's a place that you've never been to and you're driving there and you have no idea where you're going, but you know you need to get somewhere, you turn to something, right? So what do you turn to? The solution to knowing that you're going somewhere, potentially to a place that you've never been or unfamiliar. Here's what you need to do. Maybe a map, okay? Whether it be the map that you keep in your car, whether that map that you keep in your car is paper or some sort of navigation system, or whether you use your phones or computers or whatever, smartphones, for Google Maps or MapQuest or MSN Maps. So, how many of you agree with this statement? Every great company, organization, and successful individual has goals, and they set goals regularly. Is there anybody that disagrees with that? People that are successful, companies that are successful, they set goals on a regular basis, right? Okay? Every great company, organization, and successful person has explored uncharted territory. Okay? And they were unsure how they would get there or what it would be like getting there. So if we put it in perspective and relate it to soccer, do you guys know of any coaches that go into games without any preparation or any game plan? Did you guys as coach always have a game plan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if your coaches had game plans or your coach had a game plan, or for him not to have a game plan, that wouldn't make much sense, right? Well, why is it any different when it comes to our personal life? Okay, so that's the purpose of goals and goal setting. Goal setting keeps us encouraged, it helps us stay on task, and it keeps us focused on our desired outcome. Right? So, defining and identifying goals. A goal is defined as the process of deciding what you want to accomplish or avoid, and devising a plan to achieve the result that you desire. Okay? Goal setting definition emphasizes that goal setting is a two-part process. Okay? So for effective goal setting, you need to do more than just decide what you want to do. Okay? You have to also do some work. There's some work that's necessary. Okay? For a lot of us, the action part of it, a lot of us know what we want to do, but the action part of it is the challenge for us. Okay? We know that we know what we want to do, but we have trouble actually creating a plan to get there. You guys got to create a plan to get to where you want to get to. And then you guys also, not only do you have to create a plan, but you got to execute it. So, once again, say that again. That's the hard part, is the execution. What's the point in having a game plan in soccer if you're not going to execute the game plan? What's the point in having a being tactical in soccer if you're not going to execute it? Is there a point to that? It's like talking to the wall. Okay, you suggest something, you devise something that you really think is going to be great, but then if it's not carried out, if it's not executed, it defeats the purpose. But what's the point? Okay. So goals without action plans are just words. Goals can also include something that we're in need of or we desire, as well as something that we want to avoid or escape from, or even stop. Let me think of something that you want to avoid. Okay, something that you want to avoid. Everybody wants to go through life being able to pay their bills. There's a certain lifestyle that you guys have right now, even at the age of 18, 19, 20 years old, what have you. There's a certain lifestyle, 21 years old, there's a certain lifestyle that you guys live right now, and you guys would like to continue living that lifestyle, right? Wouldn't be bad. Having your cell phones.
Oh yeah.
You know, being able to get to where you want to get to. You know, different things like that. That's a certain lifestyle. How would you guys feel if you guys weren't able to maintain that lifestyle? If you lost your phones, if you didn't have a cell phone, if you weren't able to just, you know, come and go as you guys please. Wouldn't like that very much, right? That's something that you want to avoid. So goals can be also created for something that you want to avoid, okay? So, until we reach the goal, there's a certain amount of tension, stress, and anxiety. Many of us get frustrated because an obstacle appears, and when it appears, as if we're being stifled, okay? So, our perception. We talked about perception a little bit before. We create our own tension and we create our own anxiety. We create our own frustration. The reason why I say we create it, a few weeks ago we talked about success, the importance of perseverance, resolve, tenacity, willpower, grit. We even talked about that, we even mentioned that there was a success formula, okay? Success is comprised of grit and it's comprised of talent. You gotta have more grit, more willpower, more tenacity, more resolve in order for you guys to be successful, okay? But how we choose to perceive our situation is going to determine our actions, which will determine our outcome. So if you guys see something that seems to be challenging you, how do you see it? How do you look at it? Is it an obstacle? How do you guys look at the things that are challenging?
Obstacles, things in the way.
Uh-huh. How do you see it? Hmm? Does it frustrate you? Does it upset you?
Can.
It can, but does it? Sometimes.
Depends on what it
Depends on what it is. What if you guys took a different approach? What if you guys saw it as an opportunity? If we view an obstacle as making life harder for us, it's our own perception. And more importantly, we determine the magnitude of our challenges, of the obstacles, and the adversity that we have. You don't always have to see obstacles as adversity, as a challenge. Okay? In fact, identifying and defining our challenges or obstacles and adversity as opportunities for growth, if we identify it as an opportunity to develop the perseverance that we need to be successful in life, it moves us one step closer towards us being a finished product. Remember we talked about being a finished product before? Okay? So if you look at it like that, that's much different than seeing it as challenging or obstacles or adversity. And that's not how you guys want to see things. You want to look at it as an opportunity for you guys to grow and get one step closer to being a finished product. Okay? Process of elimination. Okay? I want you guys, everybody, to stand up for a second. We're gonna show you. I'm gonna show you guys how everybody perceives goal setting differently. Okay? So here we go. Only about 3% of the world actually set goals. Did you guys know that? Only 3%, approximately. The whole world, not the United States, but the whole world.
What does the rest of the people do?
They think they have goals, they think they set goals, but they really don't. So, you guys are going to be able to see firsthand of what it's like for people to think that they have goals established, but they really don't. Okay? So here we go. All of you guys are standing because all of you guys have goals, right? Everybody in here has goals? Yes. Okay? Now, here's how you're actually going to see if you really have goals or not. I'm going to name the things that are necessary to actually do some goal setting. However, if you don't have these things, if you're not doing all these things, then you guys actually don't have your goals. Okay? And I'll identify what some of that stuff is based on this. So you guys say you have goals. If you actually have your goals written out, and if you've written out what you want to accomplish, you have completed one process in goal setting. So how many of you guys have written out your goals? All right. So for all you guys that have not written out your goals, have a seat. Okay. So everybody that's standing, that means that you guys have written out your goals, right? All right. When you don't write out what you want to accomplish, they're dreams. They're your dreams. In the business world, when an idea is conceived and presented to the company, to the president, to the CEO, or to their boss, no matter how phenomenal the idea is, the first thing that the boss is going to ask, did you write it out? That's the first thing that a boss is going to ask if you guys go to them with a great idea. There were times whenever I was managing this wellness center, and I would go to our company president, and I would say, hey, I got this idea. He was like, write it out, if you haven't already. That's the first thing that he says. Every single time, it never failed. Once I got ready to start my business, you know the first thing that people were asking me? Do you have a business plan? Did you write it out? This is why it's important for you guys to understand the magnitude of goal setting and writing things out. Okay? The next thing. Everything works much more efficiently and effectively when things are mapped out as well. That's another reason why things need to be written out. Okay? So, the other section that you need to have, the other thing that you need to do in order to really have goals. If you have assigned a date of completion for your goals, meaning I'm going to accomplish X thing on X date, and if I don't, then I'm hosed. Do you guys have dates of completion written out for your goals? I'm going to accomplish it on this date.
Like
Specific. Okay. So if you have that, you've completed another step. The date of completion does not allow us to put things off and continually put off what should be executed today. Because, let me give you an example of why this is critical. My grandmother used to always say to us, one of these days, I'm going to, or one of these days, I want my kids or my grandkids to drive me to California. And there's this really old song by Nat King Cole that she used to always sing whenever she would tell us to drive her out to California from Ohio. Something about get your kicks on Route 66, I think was the song, Route 66 or whatever. I think that was the song. I could be wrong, but she would always, reference us driving her to California, and and it was always one of these days. And I think that that's something that, for me, as I look back at that, I think it's something that was really important to her. And anything that's important to people, it should be something that they really want to accomplish, and it should be a goal of theirs. And so now my grandmother's like 80-some years old, and she still hasn't done something for her that was just, was important to her. And for me, that even bothers me, that she was never able to do that. I shouldn't say she's too old, but I would say that she probably doesn't need to be in a car for that amount of time at the age of 85 for somebody to drive her all the way to California from Ohio. You know what I mean? So I don't know that that's something that she's ever going to be able to live. But if she would have maybe signed the date of completion, and she would have said, hey, in 1990, in the year 1990, in the summertime, when I'm out of school, because she worked in the school system as an attendance officer. So-and-so we're gonna get in a car, we're gonna drive to California, and this is the date that we're gonna do it. And it's a date of completion. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's important for you guys, although it may be a long-term goal, it could have been a long-term goal for her, for something that she may have wanted to do. But if she would have actually wrote a date of completion and said, this is gonna be done by this date, by this year, and so forth, she now has a date of completion, and she's going to say, I'm going to have that done by then. Now you see why date of completion is significant? Okay? Otherwise, it's just her continuing to dream about it. One of these days, baby, one of these days. Okay? The next step. How many of you guys have actually shared your goals with somebody? The things that you want to accomplish, have you shared it with somebody? Shared it with somebody? Okay. If you shared your goals and your completion with a friend, family member, or mentor, you have completed another step in the goal setting process. It's all about accountability. That's the purpose of sharing your goal with someone, so that they can hold you accountable. Now, in that, although you shared it with somebody, do they hold you accountable? Do they ask you about it? Do they remind you of it? Do they help you to make sure that you're staying on task? To make sure that you're completing that stuff? Yes? Okay? So you've completed another process. Accountability. When people share goals with one another, it is done for the purpose of accountability and encouragement if you're feeling discouraged. The next one is, if you have goals in various, do you have goals in various areas of your life? So, not just soccer goals, not just academic goals, family goals, and different things like that. So do you guys have goals in various areas of your life? Good, good. It's all about balance. That's the purpose of having goals in multiple areas of your life, is so that you guys can have balance. Without balance, what happens is we burn out, we overdo, we overextend, and all that. And at that point, we're usually no use, no good to anyone. Okay? And we're not even any good to ourselves if we don't have balance. Okay? A great example of balanced efficiency or balance efficiency is a vehicle. Okay? Vehicles, they get regular oil change, right? Regular oil change in your car. Get your tires rotated and balanced also. Okay, that's all you're doing with yourself. Is you're making sure that you have balance so that you can function the way that you want to perform and function. If your car doesn't get the oil change, if it doesn't get the filters changed and all those things, and the tires balanced and rotated, will it actually function the way that you want it to function? It won't. You guys are no different. We're no different. So we have to have that balance. Okay? Last but not least, are your goals located in a place where you can see, are they located in a place where you can read them and see them on a daily basis, and quite possibly more than once a day?
Mine's in my bag right now.
Yours is in your bag.
I want to see it.
I'm not gonna show you.
Okay? So,
Wait, I have to hold you accountable.
I'll show you the paper.
remember when we started, everybody said they had goals. Okay? But at the end, what we found and what we saw is why only 3% of the world actually have goals. Because all that is a part of the goal setting process. Okay? And so when we talk about goals and we talk about goal setting, these are all the things that you guys want to do in order for you guys to get your goals established. And then also the execution part that we talked about before.
That's right.
Okay? So executing that. Why would you have a problem with executing your goals if you have somebody holding you accountable?
I haven't reached my goal yet, so I don't know yet.
Okay,
That's all.
okay,
It's just gonna take time.
okay, okay,
About a year.
okay. All right, that's fair. So, this sort of goal setting is a catalyst in the development of an individual's will. Why? Because if we reference the success discussion, it's an individual's grit or will, not the individual's skill or talent, that truly brings about a successful outcome. What you just talked about, execution. You're only going to know a year from now if you actually accomplish a goal. It's not your talent that's gonna dictate that. It's your ability to persevere through whatever it is that you're going through a year from now. Okay? Discipline. Okay? Discipline brings about determination. We have to have determination and grit. Discipline is a process that's developed through a daily routine. Okay? I don't know if I shared this with you guys. I had a cousin that played basketball at Michigan State. Okay? He just finished up his last year playing basketball at Michigan State. 6'8", 235 pounds. Built like a brick house. All right? I'm jealous of him every time I think about him because I wish I was 6'8", 235. All right? When he was going through school, high school that is, I suggested to my aunt, our mothers are sisters. I said, Auntie, you know what you should have Raymar start doing? So that he can develop some discipline and things like that. You guys, on a regular basis, you guys should eat together. You should have him set the table. Setting the table means, even if you guys don't use regular plates, make them put out paper plates. Even if you guys don't use regular cups, put out paper cups, plastic silverware, all that. Make them set the table, put a napkin down, silverware, cups, plates, and put something to drink on the table. Even if you guys go to McDonald's, order pizza, whatever, whether you know, nanny cooks, my grandmother cooks, or you cook, or whatever, always do the same thing every single night so that he can establish a routine, and then it'll be a habit, and then it'll become a part of who he is. I said, after you guys get finished, I said it'll be a good bonding time for you guys. You guys can talk about what he's dealing with at school. You never have to, you know, wonder what he's dealing with or what's going on. It's a time for you guys to actually talk about some things also. And then the final thing he should do is he should clean up the table. He should throw the trash, whatever the scraps are left on the table, he should throw it away, put the paper plates in the trash, put the dishes in the sink, and all that stuff. Make him start doing that on a regular basis. Why? Because routine, habit, discipline. If you start doing the same thing over and over and over and over, it naturally becomes a part of who you are. Okay? Discipline is a process that's developed through a routine, through a daily routine. If you establish some sort of daily routine, it brings about habit. And habits birth discipline, and work ethic begins to manifest itself. Anybody that does not agree with that? Everybody agrees with that? If you guys all agree with that, what routine do you guys have right now?
As far as what?
Anything. Is there something that you guys do on a regular, other than get dressed and brush your teeth and take a shower? Other than go to school, what routine do you guys have on a regular basis that it's just now just a part of who you are?
Workout,
Workout. Good.
practice,
Practice. Good.
homework.
Homework. Good. You guys have to do that stuff so that it can become a part of who you are, man. If you're a soccer player, working out should be a part of who you are. You said Facebook? Yeah, for some of you guys, but seriously, that is a routine for some people.
That's routine.
Twitter, that's a routine for some people.
Is that bad?
If you're talking about routine, check my fantasy.
Okay? But see, there's nothing wrong with doing those things, guys, as long as they don't take precedence over the things that you have to do. Remember I mentioned it here before, have to versus want to?
Yeah.
You guys got to know where to have that balance at. You guys can't do the things that you want to do as opposed to the things that you have to do. Your wants can't overtake the stuff that you have to do. Okay? So it's cool to do that stuff only after you take care of business. You guys always got to take care of business, okay? You got to make it a priority. So, great work ethic exemplifies greatness. The fruit of that labor is accomplishment and goal completion, which equates to success. Okay? Dreams have no life. However, goals are what give dreams life. Your dreams are lifeless, but when you put goals with your dreams, that's what gives your dreams life. That's what gives it life. Okay? So we talked about the balance and everything. We actually are going to do goal setting, and this will be a good time for you guys to do it during Thanksgiving week, when you guys aren't going to be doing anything but eating and sleeping on Thursday, like most Americans, okay? And watching football. I forgot about football. I'm going to forget football.
And I'm working on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Damn it. Where?
American Eagle, baby.
You guys both work there?
Why you gotta hate?
The mall's going to be open on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I work from
Please,
10 Thanksgiving night till 6 in the morning.
What?
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Black Friday. At Mills Mall, at Arizona Mills Mall.
So why are the sales? They haven't.
Not at American Eagle. If I see you, I might kill you.
Why are the sales?
So,
I'm clicking on every.
here's what we got to do.
You can give me deals too.
Let me tell you guys what you have, okay? That is just wrong that you have to work on Thursday.
It's gonna be fun.
But here's what you guys have. 7 goal areas. Spiritual goals, family goals, health goals, social goals, educational goals. Okay? Work/professional and financial goals. So you guys don't really, a lot of you guys, you don't have to worry about work/profession. But what you guys can do in that goal area, do you guys know what you guys want to study in college? What your major is? You guys still don't know your majors yet?
Yes.
Once. Said you bums.
If you guys know what your majors are, that's what you can put for your goal area for your work profession, is to get a degree in such and such area. Like get a business degree, or if you want to be a physical therapist, get a kinesiology degree, or something like that. So that's what you guys can do in place of that. Okay? Financially, you guys can put what you want your long-term financial goals to be. Okay? So, let's see. I'm gonna show you guys, and guys, listen. Your goals do not have to look like this. Okay?
Are these your goals?
Yes.
They seem very hard to find.
How?
It's a game I beat you too.
What'd you say?
Your game was the one right on.
I would think it would be on your desktop.
It is.
Well,
I'll make you a shirt, a real sick shirt. It's gonna be cool. That's all.
Alright. These are my goals, fellas. My spiritual goals, my family goals, health, social, education, work, professional, financial goals. Alright? I got them all written out. They're all there. Alright? They don't have to look.
Did you have more goals, multiple goals in each area?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Alright.
I have multiple goals in each area, okay? The reason why it was split the way that it was split was because, and you guys might want to write this down because you guys are going to write out your goals, okay? The goals have to be intangible and the goals have to be tangible. Let me tell you what an intangible goal is. Intangible means you can't touch it, you can't see it or feel it. You can't feel it. Okay, that's intangible. Okay, let me give you an example of an intangible goal for your education. Okay, an intangible goal for education is I'm going to get smarter. Okay, I'm going to increase my knowledge in a certain area. I'm going to improve my ability, and I'm going to improve my grade point average.
You can
Okay,
see that though.
yeah, you can. It's like a quantity. It's measurable.
Yeah, but then,
well,
I mean, it's not something like it's not like a car. I can drive
it's
around.
more intangible, but the tangible part of I'm going to improve my grade point average.
it's like a piece of paper that says,
Is the tangible way to do that is I'm going to read in whatever classes that you're taking every day. I'm going to read a little bit out of each class for 45 minutes every day. Okay, that's tangible because you can actually sit down and you can actually do it. You can actually sit down and read for 45 minutes and study for 45 minutes to an hour in each of those classes. So that's a tangible goal, okay? Although you can, just like you guys said, although you can see what your grade point average is, it's still
Yeah.
intangible, okay? The other thing is your goals also, so that's the tangible, that's tangibly how you would accomplish that. So your goals have to be tangible. They have to be in the 7 areas. What else? We talked about how they have to be time bound. Okay, so you want to have dates of completion for them. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. So do you guys have those 7 areas written down? So you guys might want to write down the 7 areas. Spiritual, family goal, health goal, social goal, educational goal, work/professional goal, and then also your financial goals. So those are your goals, your goal areas.
When do you need these goals by?
Next week.
On Tuesday?
Yep. I know it's Tuesday.
No pasa papeles. Un lápiz. Arreglo por mí.
So you guys have the goal areas?
Nice.
And like I said, they have to be tangible and intangible.
Can more be tangible or Oh, wait. Did you say your goals have to be tangible or?
And both.
Oh, okay.
So,
Can you go back to the last, or number 7, please?
are you gonna miss me? Look like your tears, your eyes were tearing up.
I'll miss you a little bit. What?
Can I go to ASU or to U of A with you?
No.
Alright, ASU's my favorite football team.
ASU is?
Yeah,
That's why you can't go. Because you're gonna be on U of A's sideline.
it's alright. I'll be booing you guys.
If you go, you have to root for U of A.
So,
Have you ever seen Celtic Pride? Oh, have you seen that? That movie's awesome.
You seen what?
Celtic Pride. With Damon Wayans and
see it and feel it. I like
those
That's
Dan
it,
Aykroyd
man.
and
You're gonna feel it, you're gonna see it.
David is a jazz, he's a
yeah.
jazz all-star.
I thought we got
I
this.
think he's a guard.
Yeah,
And these two guys, like, they kidnap him so that they lose the NBA finals.
Yeah.
But he escapes, and then, like, at the very end of the movie, like, before, it's called Celtic Pride, before they, like, he won't, like, turn him in or kidnap him and stuff. Under the conditions that they wear jazz shirts and cheer for him.
because they were big time Celtics fans.
Yeah, the movie is hilarious.
It's called Celtic Pride.
Yeah.
I have to see it.
No, it's good, it's really good.
You know that guy in Home Alone? The first one? Like,
Yeah.
The robbers? Not the,
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
short
yeah,
guy, but
The tall guy, that's
Yeah.
it. I forget it, Dennis Stern?
I don't
I don't know, I think that's his name.
That's who the other guy is. Dan Aykroyd.
Funny. That movie is so fun.
Alright, you guys got that written down? So I can go back up to this one? Okay, so, time bound. Your goals have to be time bound also, okay? Time bound means you have short-term goals, you have long-term goals, okay? So you want them to be time bound. Both short-term and long-term. So short-term is a month or less. That's short-term goals. Long-term goals are no, it's actually it's either a year or more or 6 months or more.
A year or more.
It's a year. I think it's a year or more also.
So how about 4 months? Is that a short?
That's a midway, like a yeah. It actually really is a checkpoint because what it is for your long-term goals, what you do is you gauge and you measure where you are in accomplishing your long-term goals. Your short-term goals are what you're going to use to get you to your long-term goals.
It's like setting up a,
It's like a stepping stone.
like a workout plan. You're gonna see it the first day and then a year from now,
Absolutely.
the results.
Absolutely. So they're time bound, tangible, intangible. I want you guys to find accountability partners also for your goals. Okay? Your accountability partners may vary in different goal areas. Let me tell you guys what that means. You got to set family goals, right? Any of you guys in here related, biologically related?
I think me and Rob are.
You and Rob are biologically related?
I can tell.
Okay? So if you guys are biologically related, what you guys can actually do is you guys can actually share some of your family goals with each other, and you and Rob can hold each other accountable. Okay? So for example, me and my brother, If I have a family goal, I can share that family goal with my brother. And my brother will help hold me accountable in terms of my family goals, okay? Or, for example, if I said that I wanted to be a better dad, that's a family goal. If I wanted to be a better father, that's a family goal. I can share that with a friend who's asking me, hey, how much time are you spending with your son? Are you guys sitting and talking whenever you guys are together? Although he's only 4.